Hey, what's up, Dice Throne friends? This is Will, and that's my giant head.
In a solo, that's my even gianter head.
It is giant. All right, so today we're taking a look at Mystic Brawler here. We just got a look at it, and it is 12:01 on the day of release. So we're really excited to be able to share this with you first. But first of all, we want to thank Wonko's Games for hosting us, for sponsoring us, giving these amazing shirts, and that giant heads. That's awesome. All right, but so let's take a second and get looking into Mystic Brawler and some of the pretty cool things he does.
So what I like about Mystic Brawler is he's like goes back to season one type characters in my opinion a little bit to where he gives you that fun turn your brain off and just hit people kind of feel. He's a barbarian with status effects, and I think that's one of the biggest things to take out of this is like he can do a lot of the same things barbarian does as far as how hard he can hit you. But he has status effects to help him. And I really enjoy the mechanics of having to put things on, take things off, know when to kind of burst in some things. Because unlike Barbarian, he doesn't hurt himself when he hits you really hard.
All right, so let's take a second and look at the strengths real quick. And so the strengths is his bread and butter, his shtick. And so each one of these strengths does something different, and it's really not that hard to get a strength. Most of your abilities give you a strength in one way or another, and you also have cards to modify that. Okay, so first up is Ocean. So if you have one token, and you do this at the beginning of your upkeep phase or during your upkeep phase, and you could use one token to gain a CP, or two tokens to gain 2 CP and heal 2. And that's pretty nice.
It is, especially since you have a stack limit of 3, which means if you can get 3 of them in your upkeep phase, you can get 2 CP and 2 health, which is pretty strong.
It's nice. And so one thing we found is because of this, we're not really hurting for CP. Okay, so next up, this is one of the more valuable ones along with Sky. So Mountain, for every single mountain you have, it's going to increase your attack damage modifier by 1. And so on Clobber, his basic, if you roll 4 fists, just fisting all over the place, then that 5 turns into 7. So 2 mountains, 5 to 7. Pretty nice. And so it ups really some of these damage numbers. Second thing is Sky. So each Sky you have gives you an extra dice rolled during your defense. And his defense is pretty decent. It can be pokey depending on what you roll, or it can and block a lot of damage depending on what you roll, but also helps you gain strength. So get your strength engine online.
And both of those are stack limits of 2. So you can add a maximum of 2 damage, or you can add a maximum of 2 more dice to your defense roll. And then his last status effect is Concussion. Once again, it's more of a barbarian trait that we all love about him. So Concussion, during you skip your income phase if you're affected with this. So Concussion is fun because, and one of the things that you have to keep in mind with all of his status effects, his strengths, they cannot be transferred, meaning that your opponent cannot take them with them and put them on themselves, but they can remove them. So basically, all this stuff is going to be immune to transfer because, or transference, because you can't transfer Concussion because it happens in your income phase. So we're going to start talking about his abilities now. So Clobber is his basic ability. You have 4 fists and 5 fists. You do not have the 3 fists or the 3 symbols. So you do 5, 7 damage. You have mountains that boosted by whichever mounts you have. So it can be potentially 6 or 7 on his 4. On his 5, it can be potentially 8 or 9. If you roll 4 of a kind, you can inflict Concussion. Pretty good basic ability. The only thing you got to keep in mind is you can't rely on not whiffing. You roll 3 fists and that's it. But it's not bad. And then there's Healing Wind.
Yeah, Healing Wind is pretty nice. It actually gives you quite a bit. Rolling 2 spirits and 1 peak gives you 3 health and gain 2 strengths. And this is a great one early, as you can get 2 skies, so you get your defense online early, which we'll get into this in a minute, but it'll help you get your strength engine online.
It's one of those things where I think Healing Wind will be nice, especially if you go first opening roll. It's nice to get to 53 health and then you can have 2 strengths on there. And then we got Strong Arm, which is going to be 3 fists and a peak. After targeting an opponent, you each roll dice. See, this is kind of interesting because this ties into more of a gunslinger mechanic. So you guys like play gunslinger might like this as well. After targeting an opponent, each roll 1 dice. If your roll is equal or greater, gain a strength and deal 6 damage. Otherwise, you do 7 damage. So it's not bad. And the cool thing is you gain a strength before you do damage. So if you want to do 7 damage, you choose your mountain as your strength, and you're doing 7 damage anyway.
Yeah.
And then you got Tidal Blow.
Tidal Blow is pretty awesome. So you gain a Strength of the Ocean, which we talked about that, and that's going to help you get your CP and your health, depending on how many you have. And then you deal 6 damage and roll a dice. On a fist, you add 2 damage. On a spirit, you draw a card. And on a mountain, you inflict concussion.
So I think that's going to be probably one of his bread and butter attacks. I mean, it's not hard to roll for. You're rolling the 2 easiest dice face to hit. Are you gonna hit every time? No, but it's also something that you can chase your straights and then fall back into that. Would be real nice as well. I think his roll objectives aren't hard. With Tidal Blow, I think it's going to be something that's going to be causing a little bit of havoc in people's boards.
And the upgrade is great. We'll show you this in a second. It's fantastic.
Then we got Spirit Strike. I like this one because once again, it's feeding that strength engine. So you gain 1 strength and you do 7 damage, which basically will turn into 8 damage if you don't already have the mountains on you. If not, then you get skies. Depending on how you want to do it. If you want more defense, you can always go sky. You want more attack, you can go mountains. That's one thing about him. I think is making it real versatile, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But it's a pretty. I mean, we all fall into our small straights more often than not. So, seeing a printed value of 7, which is average damage, and then being able to add on top of that is really nice to see.
Coming up next is Tectonic Punch. Okay, so on the large straight, you get to choose one. You gain strength of the mountain, or remove 1 strength of the mountain and add 3 damage to this attack, and then deal 10 damage. So if you either get a strength of the mountain and you're doing 11, if you have none, or you remove 1 and you do 13 damage. That's a pretty good hit. And there's some cards in here that we're going to show you in a second that really modify those to make it pretty fantastic.
Then we're going to go to Ancestral Strength. I mean, who doesn't like the mini ult? I will say this. If you look at his board, one thing you'll see that he's not built for is chasing 6s. He does have a couple abilities with 1 6 on it, but we all know we're not going to do 1 6 and then try to chase another 3 with that kind of layout on his board. You look all around, it's only those 2 and then this one right here. So his Ancestral Strength is not bad though. If you get lucky or you get modded out from your ult to a mini ult, you're not going to cry about this.
Worst things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You get 2 strength and do 7 undefendable damage. Those 2 strengths, if you don't have mountains, you put mountains on. I mean, you do what you want, but that's what I want to do. And then bust it up to 9 undefendable damage. It's great. It's a great mini ult. Not something you're going to chase, but if you fall back into it, you're not going to be mad about it.
Next up is Wrestle. All right, so without any additional skies, that is, it's going to be 2 dice. But for each sky you have, it's going to add an additional defensive dice roll. And so that's pretty great because on a fist you do a damage, and it's not per, it's for every fist you get a damage, and for every spirit you get heal at health. And on a 6 you gain a strength.
So it's not a bad defense. I mean, especially when you got your sky rolling 4, every dice face does something. Some characters you roll their defense and nothing happens. So this is actually not a bad one at all. Now we're going to talk about his upgrades for his abilities, and we've arranged this to where it's our least favorite to favorite, or like least important and most important ones to upgrade. These are our opinions, of course. We've only played this about 3 or 4 times each. So it's definitely, we'll probably come back later on and give you an updated view on this. But this is, of course, a very early view on this. So
yeah, this is not a master class. This is our first stage.
Yes.
Okay, so first what? This is our least favorite.
Least favorite.
Least favorite. And this is the mini ult upgrade. And I know most of the time mini ult upgrades are pretty good. This one, it's not it.
It's not it, and mainly because I mean the cool thing is it ups the 2 damage, so you will be doing at the very minimum 11 damage on the undefendable, which is great if you fall back into this. That's where we go back into. You're not chasing this ability, so it's not something that you want to upgrade right away. If you are flush CP, upgrade it. I mean,
Mhm.
whatever. If you don't need it, I would do it. I mean, the fallback on this one is a spirit call, gain 2 strengths and fit concussion. You can
Mhm.
get strength so many other ways. You're not chasing that. So,
Right.
least favorite.
Our next least favorite is wrestle.
Mind you, ancestral is 2 CP, which is the average of most Binyals calls. Wrestle, unfortunately, is 3 CP. This is not. I want to say that this is not a bad defense upgrade.
No.
And if you have the CP at the time, I would definitely upgrade this. This is basically in order of if say we had all of our upgrades in our hand, how we would upgrade them.
Mhm.
Wrestle adds an extra dice with your 2 sky. You'd be rolling 5 dice,
Mhm.
so that's great. I mean, honestly, the only bad thing that could happen from this if you roll 5 6s,
Mhm.
because unfortunately it does not turn the mountain into, or I'm sorry, the peak it into every, and turns it into still on. So
Mhm.
if you roll all 6s, you still only get 1 strength.
Right.
Otherwise, you just get 5 dice and you can do damage or heal. So it's not bad at all.
Yeah, and if you're swimming in CP, upgrade that defense. I mean, having an extra dice is never going to be bad.
Nope.
But the reason why we ranked a little bit lower was like Scylla said, it's 3 CP. And so if you don't have a lot of CP, I don't know if this is one of the earliest ones I would put down.
Okay, next one that we have is going to be Tectonic Punch. This one is, I want to rank a little high. I like this ability because um, I roll a lot of straights, so that's why I like it. I mean, I will say I probably roll more straights than average player, and I like the fact that it's 13 damage automatically. You don't have to discard a mountain for it. But what's also bad about straights? They're especially large straights. They're easy to be modded off of.
Mm-hmm.
Helping Hand, Tip It, So Wild, anything can get you off this. So I mean, it's not one I'm going to upgrade right away. Um, and is the fallback is Knockout, which once again, if you're rolling this, it's because something went wrong,
Mm.
and it's not a bad thing to have. So it's not an awful upgrade. It's not something that I would upgrade early. 3 damage plus 2. If you say you have a couple mountains, it's 5 damage,
Mm.
undefendable. Not bad, but it's not something that I want to chase. It's definitely good. It's definitely a decent fallback, but not great.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great point. All right, the next one up is Clobber 2. And the lower one goes up by 1 damage. But the reason why we like this one is on 3 of a kind, you gain Strength of the Sky. If you happen to roll Concussion, you're getting both Strength of the Sky, a Concussion, and 7 damage.
And the
That's,
way you get concussion is you roll 4 of a kind. So of course you're rolling 4 of a kind, you're rolling 3 of a kind. It's really great.
to be honest, I don't think it's too far off the Tectonic Punch in power. And
No, I think the why we rank this a little higher to Talent Punch is because you're going to roll um, your clobber more than you're going to roll your
Mhm.
your large straight.
Right.
You're going to activate this more times. And not saying that you're going to hit the 4 of a kind every time, but if you roll into that, it's a bonus on top of. And 7 is average damage. You're doing average damage
Mhm.
for a basic ability, which is not bad.
Coming into ones we actually really do like, Spirit Strike 2. And so this takes your damage up by 1 point, but if you use a 6 in this, you also get a heal. So when you combine that, and I'm spinning the CP bit around, so when you combine that with his Oceans and your healing 2, and if you happen to get a Healing Wind, you can actually get quite a bit of healing in on this, as well as doing a minimum of 8, if not 10, with 2 mountains.
And the cool thing about this is if you play this often enough, you know that you will luck into small straights more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to hit that a lot more than you will your large straights. Sometimes a lot more than you will even your basics. I mean, you roll it and you just fall into it. 8 damage, minimum 9. Minimum is 9 damage because you gain a strength.
Good point.
And so you're that for a small straight is just right up there again with barbarian.
It's a good hit.
Yep.
Yeah, and possibility of healing 1. All right, so for our absolutely favorite upgrade so far is Tidal Blow 2. So this is a 2 CP card. It's not that hard to roll into because it's 2 fists and 3 fists and 2 spirit. So you gain a Strength of the Ocean, deal 6 damage and roll 2. And so add 2 damage per fist on the spirit draw card, same as the other one, and on a mountain inflict concussion.
So the biggest thing to look at this one is it changes the fist into on to every. And then that means that you're potentially, if you don't have no mountains on you, minimum damage, if you hit those 2's going to be 10. If
Mm-hmm.
you have spirits on you, it's going to be 12. And for ability that is highly, like if you're chasing your straights, you're probably going to roll into this. And even if you're not, I mean, it's going to be a very ability to activate more often than not. You get that ocean, and so you can get CP as well. I mean, it's all around. It gives you everything that this character needs to win, and to be very competitive. So those are our recommendations and how you should upgrade. So to kind of look back on it, first upgrade should be title, title blow. Second upgrade should be your spirit strike. Third upgrade should be your clobber, and then your tectonic punch, your defense, and ancestral strength. Once again, we say this kind of a lot, and it's going to be one of those things that you'll hear us repeat. He does not have a problem getting CP. And I don't think that you're going to be CP starved on this one. So you might upgrade your whole board. But if you have certain ones in your hand, just maybe take that into consideration.
All right, so now let's take a second and look at the cards. So these again, to some of the least favorite to the more, the cards we'll use almost every single time.
And I want to preface this with we were speaking with the owner of Wonko's, Matt, and he had a good point after we started talking to him a little bit. This character has cards that you'll play almost every time. Like all the specialty cards are good. So when we show you our least favorite to our favorite, doesn't mean sell them right away. Like I don't think he has any must-sell cards.
No, he doesn't have any bad cards.
No, I think that. But if you are for some reason needing it you're going in with 2 CP and you need the extra card to get that, or extra CP to get that twice as wild off. This is whatever we would sell it.
Right. So his abilities, some of them aren't the greatest, but his cards are pretty fantastic. All right. So first up is Haka. What do you think about this one?
So this one right here is I mean, like I said, if I was going to sell a card, it'd probably be this one. But I do like it still. It's gain a strength, and you can spend an additional 2 CP to gain 2 strengths instead. More than likely, I would just use it to gain a strength. I don't know if I'm spending 3 CP to get 2 strengths, unless I just got what status effect and I need it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not something. His cards aren't something I'm going to just hard sell every time, because there are cases where you're going to need this. So I think it's pretty good. I just don't think it's high on my list.
Yeah, it's not top tier.
No.
Next up is Heavy Hand. This is kind of like a half of a So Wild. So you can change the value of any one of your dice to 1, 2, or 3 for 1 CP. Now it's cheap. There's few. I mean, if it puts you into a large straight, that's great.
Or even keeps you from whiffing.
Or if it keeps you from whiffing, that's pretty all right. So like we were saying, there's no real bad cards. This just wasn't top tier for us on this character compared to some of his other cards.
Wild Strength. Now this one I do like. The reason why I like this is that you roll 5 dice, and then if you hit for every 2 fists, you do 2 damage. Basically 1 damage each, but you need 2 to activate it in general. The thing is, you may reroll up to 1 of these dice per strength. So this will be a card that I would use when I got my board fully upgraded, or not my board, I'm sorry, all my status effects on me. That way I can roll all 5 again if I need to. I think adding 2 damage, so you'll add a maximum of 4 damage on this. How hard he hits, this can turn a 14 point hit into 18. So I mean, it's really crazy. I really do like this one.
Next up is Seesaw. So this one is kind of great. It's 0 CP and it's instant. So this is pretty much just like getting paid. You're withholding information from your opponent. So if you're showing 0 CP with 1 Strength of the Ocean and you have this in your hand, then you all of a sudden play that and you magically have 2, and your opponent cries in nerd tears.
Another thing to like about this one is, since it is instant action and you have an ocean on you, if they what status affect you, you can spend this card and the ocean before it's removed from you, since this is instant, and get 2 CP for it. So that's one thing. The only reason why it's not like top like what we have is basically because you have to have an ocean on you to use it. So it still needs something to get it going, but it's not bad at all.
And it's 1 CP if you sell it, so it's already worth 1 CP if you sell it. Just some of the benefit is the person not knowing what's coming in. Next up is Spirit Chant. So we both like this. This is we both agreed that this is one of our higher tier cards. It's Spirit Chant, 1 CP, and you roll a dice. On a fist, you inflict concussion on a chosen opponent. Well, and in competitive, there's usually one chosen component. There's usually one chosen opponent. And then on a spirit, draw 2, and then on a mountain, gain 2 strengths. There's no losers here. You're either costing your opponent a CP and a card, you're getting 2 cards, or you're gaining 2 strengths.
What makes all these cards so good, I think, and it's something that I really see, is majority of them are 1 CP cost.
Mm-hmm.
On the character who gets CP on a regular basis, for his cards to be so cheap is great. It's amazing. I like it. You know, so this definitely is any card. I like these cards that you roll dice and something happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's always one of my favorite things to do in the main phase, because then you can buff up your stuff, or you can get cards that and you can basically draw 2 or strengths or concussion. So you're not losing this at all.
Now for the couple.
So these next cards we're seeing right here are ones that we absolutely will use every game. I'll hold on to this. I will not sell these cards.
Mm-hmm.
So Kapu is remove a mountain to prevent 4 incoming damage. So basically, not this time light version. So after you're being attacked, if you got a mountain on you, say you roll your defense, right? And you rolled 2 of the spirits. That means you're healing 2. Use this card, and you have a mountain on you. You're blocking 4. So it's a not this time, and then you have your other not this time in your hand still. So this can be really good. Or just say it's some, like you're going against Pyro, and they're fixing to hit you for 14. You have this and not this time, and you roll your defense. You turn 14 into like 2. I mean, this is you do not get rid of this card ever.
Yeah, it's very good. Flying Punch. Who doesn't love a good flying punch? All right, 1 CP. You remove a strength of the sky and make this attack undefendable. So if you're rolling a large straight, you're coming in with, say it's the upgraded version. So you're rolling 14 damage, and then making that attack undefendable. That's a free ult.
I just anything that makes attacks undefendable is great, but when you have a character who hits as hard as he does, it just makes it that much better. And the fact that you can get your strengths from the next couple cards we show you here. You'll see the combos that can be used with this, and it just makes this really, really a strong character. This can be like the final blow. Like this is something that comes out of your hand, and they got nothing they can do about it.
It's a good execute.
Yep.
Yeah. This next one is also a good. It has opportunity for execute, but it's 1 CP for a free strength of the mountain, or you just do 2 random damage. So if they're at 2 random damage, you're like, oh no, you didn't do enough damage to kill me. I have 2 life left. Ha, sucker.
So if you let's say you have no mountain on you, and you play this card and you get a mountain, so you'll be ready for your Kapu on your next turn coming up. I mean, it's a great combination of cards. Or like Will was saying, someone has 2 life left and you kill them with this out of your hand. Everyone loves that.
Everyone loves that. All right. And one of our favorite ones was Enjoy the View. 1 CP, gain a strength of the sky, which adds a dice to your defense, so it makes your defense better, or you heal 2.
I can't think of a real situation that you'll heal 2 unless you are, I mean, if it's like say the time's up and you are wanting to edge them out with a heal.
Oh, that'd be dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so dirty.
I mean, that's one way that you could use that. But also, you can gain the strength of the sky, which I think has more weight. So
yeah, and so also one of the things we saw. So those 2 together to make that strength of the sky undefendable.
So you look at this, you're spending 2 CP, 1 again in strength, and then 1 to use this. And I mean, that's going to be a sick combination you guys can use on this one. So those are his cards, and kind of like we're saying, these are all cards that we would play whenever possible. There's only a few that we would sell if like worst case scenario. Overall, he has just a great cards and just great stats. He's just a really fun character. Mm-hmm. And we're going to bring him back into frame real quick so we can take a look at it and talk about his last thing that we want to talk about, which is his ultimate. So his ultimate, which is, as all 6s. And we're looking at you gain 2 strengths, inflict concussion, and then deal 12 damage. That's very important. It says then deal, because then you can get your mountains if you don't have them and make that 14 undefendable damage and a concussion. So not only are you hitting for 14, but they can get a CP or a card in their next round. Mm-hmm. I think it's a very stout ultimate. Minimum, I mean, your minimum is going to be 14, and that's like Thor level. Forge Master has a 14-1-2. So that's one that you can hit anytime. Some characters I think have ones you want to hit later on or early on. This is anytime is going to be a great time for this ultimate. Looking at his board, his overall kit, I think he's going to be a really fun character to play. I think that with some practice, you can really make him a force to reckon with, and without practice, a force to reckon with. I mean, honestly, you're not going to have a bad time playing this character. You're going to look into a big it's going to feel fantastic to hit me for 14 undefendable. When I say hit me for 14 undefendable, because I was playing Matt earlier, and he hit me for 14 undefendable. He smiled about it. I feel kind of bad.
Yeah, it was hurtful. It was rude. It was hurtful.
I think this is going to be a great character. I'm really excited to bring it to the tournaments. So, what do you think the cons on this one would be?
So the cons, you know what? He's really susceptible to what status effects. It
Hurt your feelings, didn't it?
I cried a little bit. But yeah, so I spent the entire game getting all my my strength engine online, getting everything to work, and then right as I'm about to work on closing out the game, he what status affects me, and yeah, it didn't work out so well for me. It ruined my plan, and
I think I won.
I think you won actually.
With this character, I think another downfall, and you'll hear me say this a lot with characters like Sun Elf is one of them, and we'll go to a deeper dive on that one. You'll see I'll say the same thing. I like a character with a good source of undefendable damage. I play a lot that way. So for me, one of the cons of this one is a lot of his attacks are defendable. All the attacks are defendable except for his ancestral power, strength, and when you upgrade Titanic Punch, and then his ultimate, meaning that you're going to have to crash into defenses over and over again. So characters with strong defenses and are going to have a field day with them. So we're very thankful for Wonkos for letting us get this right at 12:01, so we could get our hands on this and play some. I'm really excited to play it more. I really don't know if I want to go like heavy defense on this one or heavy offense, because I think even with a defensive way to play this character, it can cause problems. He's just I think really well balanced. And I'm excited to take it to its first tournament.
One thing I did notice, it kind of really shows that Dice Throne's character design, they're just getting better with each season. The first one, and then Marvel, and as it's going, I mean, we're coming to more versatile characters that can be played multiple different ways. So it's easy to pick up, but there is a lot of strategy behind it.
I'm not going to overstate the obvious, but the art is fantastic on all this. I mean, the card sleeves, the board, everything looks amazing.
Says the man with Ohana tattoo.
You know, yeah. Imagine me playing Mr. Brawler. Who knew I was going to do that?
Who knew?
If you guys like the video, please leave a like, subscribe. Please comment, and if you guys don't agree with us, let us know. I mean, I don't mind having a discussion with everybody. And mind you, this is a very early take. We're going to play this character more, and like I said, maybe go into a little deeper dive and maybe correct ourselves where we might think we might messed up. Sure. We have a tournament tomorrow, and I'll later today. It is Wednesday, and I will be taking this character and playing some to see what I can do with it. So I'll look for a report back on that as well. But you know, I'm Solo.
I'm Will.
And we are Twice as Wild.